50 wins before the All-Star break, and welcome to the show, Colton Cowser. Hey, the Baltimore Orioles take Game 3 against the New York Yankees 6-3. Come hang out with me. Let's talk about it. Let's go O's! What's going on, Birdland? Hey, Baltimore Bobst here. Welcome to the Baltimore Bobst YouTube channel. I'm Bobst, where we discuss all things Baltimore Orioles. Hey, if you're interested in my personal opinion, if you like the Baltimore Orioles, hey, consider like, sharing, and subscribing this content. Comment down in the comment section what you think, and hey, we'll hang out and talk some Orioles baseball. So, without further ado, Baltimore Orioles break a 2-game losing streak to the New York Yankees by beating them 6-3 in Game 3 of a 4-game set. And there are tons of kudos to go around in this baseball game. As poorly as Baltimore has played the last week, 2 weeks, what have you, hey, they played some good stinking baseball today. Let's go over the box score real quick. So Baltimore finishes the game with 6 runs, 10 hits, and an error. New York finishes the game with 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Just a little caveat. One of the errors, a throw-in error by Gunnar Henderson, actually hit a cameraman in the face, and he was actually carted off the field. It resulted in a 15-minute delay in the game because it struck him in the face. So, hey, thoughts and prayers out to him. Hopefully he recovers, and he's doing well soon. So, like I was saying, we'll go over the box score. Gunnar Henderson goes 1 for 5. Adley Rutschman has another multi-hit game. He goes 2 for 5 with a run. Anthony Santander goes 1 for 4 with a walk. Ryan O'Hearn goes 1 for 4 with 2 ribbies and a walk. He also hit a home run. Cedric Mullins broke out of his slump and had 2 doubles, goes 2 for 5. Aaron Hicks went 1 for 5. Colton Cowser, welcome to the Bigs. He's the one who started the show. We'll talk about that here shortly. And Jordan Westberg also went 1 for 3 with 2 ribbies. Adam Frazier went over 3, but he did have an RBI. Hey, I want to start off first by saying thank you, Dean Kremer. Once again, you know, and some of these guys have struggled, but Dean Kremer pitched a fantastic game, okay? He goes 7 innings, only allows 4 hits, 2 runs, only one of them was earned. He had 1 walk, and he had a career-high 10 strikeouts, and it couldn't have came in a bigger spot for him to turn it on, and that's exactly what he did. So, hey, tip your cap to Dean Kremer. Great stinking pitching performance, especially with how the bullpen has been taxed the last 2-3 games. It was big for him to come with 7 big innings and keep the Baltimore Orioles in the baseball game. On the Yankees side, Vasquez ended up going 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 1 K. He didn't allow any earned runs. Ramirez came in, and he's the one who actually allowed the first 3, all earned. King ended up coming in after him. He went 2 2/3. He did allow 1 earned run, and then Hamilton came in after him for an inning and allowed 2-run shot to Ryan O'Hearn. But let's get into the play-by-play. So basically, this game started off just like a couple of them have. Where there was really no action in the first couple innings. Obviously, yesterday, New York scored in the bottom half of the first on a shot. But it's 0-0 going into the 5th inning. And Baltimore had some traffic. I mean, they were getting some couple of base knocks and everything, had a couple of runners on second and third, but they weren't able to get the runners over. And that was kind of the story, especially early on. Ced Mullins, I think at one point after his 2 at-bats, he had left on 4 runners on base. He was 0 for 2, but he turned it on. Something clicked with him later on in the game. But bottom half of the 5th is kind of when the scoring broke open. Dean Kremer was pitching great, and then Donaldson, he snaps out of whatever slump he's in because he's batting under 200 below the 200 line, the Mendoza line. And he ends up smacking a home run to right center. So 1-0 Yankees. I think right after that is when the incident happened with the cameraman. There was a 15-minute delay until he got medical treatment and was carted off the field. And then I think it's Higashioka. I think that's how you say it. The catcher, he ends up singling to right, and Volpe scores. And then they end up throwing out Higashioka at second base to get out of the inning. But that was after Volpe had scored. So Rutschman made a good throw, throwing him out at second to end the inning. So it's 2-0 Yankees. And then Baltimore comes in, and this was a huge inning. Stinking huge inning. So Ramirez comes in pitching. Ryan O'Hearn starts out the inning grounding out to second base. Mullins then, like I said, something snapped. He doubles to right field, and then Hicks reaches on an infield single, which puts Mullins to third. Now, Donaldson made a stinking fantastic play even getting to this ball because Hicks smacked this thing down the line, and Donaldson was not playing on the line. He was playing off the back. And, you know, Hicks hits a sharp ground ball down the line, and Donaldson somehow comes up with it. And Mullins decides to head to third and ends up getting there because Donaldson trips. He would have probably been safe anyway, but Donaldson made a heck of a play just keeping that ball from going into the corner. So you got runners on first and third, and then in comes Mr. Colton Cowser, who was just called up today for his first game in the big leagues. And at this point, he's 0 for 2. But what does my man do? The Baltimore Orioles are down 2-0, and Colton Cowser singles to right, scoring Mullins, and Hicks ends up going to third base. So now it's 2-1 New York. But that was huge for this kid with his family up in the stands to get that big base hit and start this Orioles rally. Hey, congratulations to you, Colton Cowser. I hope that there are many more to come. And by the time we get through with this inning, you see where and how bright the future is for the Baltimore Orioles. So immediately after Cowser singles and Mullins scores, Hicks goes to third. Westberg comes up and has a stinking triple that sneaks under the glove of the left fielder. He made a fantastic effort. Probably shouldn't have dove for that baseball, but it ends up getting to the wall, and IFK ends up bobbling it, and that allows the bases to clear, 2 more runs score, and Westberg is sliding into third with his first major league triple. Hey, sprinklers, baby, sprinklers. Go Birds. Hey, then after that, Frazier grounds into a fielder's choice to shortstop, and Westberg scores, making it 4-2 Orioles. They weren't able to muster anything else out of the inning, but those 4 runs in the 6th, started by the rookie, Colton Cowser, and then to have another rookie, Westberg, come and triple in behind him, man, the future is stinking bright in Baltimore, as bad as they've been playing the past week or two. Yankees couldn't do anything in the bottom of the 6th. Orioles couldn't do anything in the top of the 7th. Mullins did double, but they weren't able to do anything with that. Hicks did line out to center, and kid made a great play. Could have easily been a base knock, but Baltimore's not able to do anything in the 7th. Neither are the Yankees. So fast forward to the bottom of the 8th. All right, so Yennier Cano comes in, and what do you know? Hey, this kid's going to be a problem one day. And I'm not talking about Yennier. He's playing great, but he gives up a home run to Volpe. And I don't know what it is about the Baltimore Orioles, but apparently this kid's turned it on because he's had a decent series against Baltimore, if you will. So Yennier Cano gives up leadoff home run to Volpe, brings the game to 4-3. Well, he battles. McKinney ends up reaching on an infield single, and then Rizzo flied out to right. Torres popped out to shortstop, and then Brandon Hyde makes the correct decision in a 4-3 ball game, and he brings in the mountain for a 4-out save. Now, look, I've said this multiple times. I hate 4-out saves because I hate that somebody's got to warm up, they come out, they get the out, then they have to sit, and then they come out of the dugout, and they got to get 3 more outs. I just don't like it, but it was the right decision to make, especially with somebody like Giancarlo Stanton in the batter's box with a runner on first. So Bautista ends up getting Stanton to fly out, which gets the Birds out of the inning, 4-3. Now, the Birds, they end up doing what they need to do in order to like Jim Palmer said in the broadcast, we don't tack on runs, we add them. Well, that's exactly what they did, because up 4-3, how do you try to put this game out of reach? Well, Hamilton comes in for the Yankees. Trevino is catching. Bowers is in right field. McKinney's in left field. Rutschman starts off the inning with a double. Beautiful, beautiful piece of hitting by Adley Rutschman. Santander grounds out to second, which pushes Rutschman to third. Now, obviously, this is great baseball, okay? Because that is exactly what you want to do. Now you have one out with a runner on third. Usually any fly ball is going to score that runner. Well, it was more than a fly ball, because Ryan O'Hearn, who has basically solidified himself as the Baltimore Orioles cleanup hitter, hits a stinking frozen rope over the right field wall. I mean, that thing was so low to the ground, the right fielder might even have been able to put his glove up and catch it. I mean, that thing was in the air for like 5 seconds. It couldn't even have been that long. It was just a rope that barely cleared the wall. He smashed that stinking baseball. I think they said it was like 108 off the bat. And what does that do? It gives the Orioles some breathing room. 6-3 now, and Baltimore's feeling pretty good about themselves. So Bautista comes in. He's going to come and get that. He's going to finish up the last 3 outs of that 4-out save. He strikes out Bowers. He did walk Donaldson. LeMahieu flies out to right, and then he strikes out IKF to finish the inning in dominant fashion with his 23rd save of the season. At first, he was kind of at 98, 99. Hey, by the time they got to the back end of that inning, he was at 101, 102, just like the mountain that we always see, we've come to love. So, 23rd save of the season, and what's fantastic is that the Baltimore Orioles have 50 wins. 50 before the All-Star break. Has it been pretty the last couple of weeks? Not even stinking close. But they have 50 wins, and they're 15 games above 500, and that moves them 3 games back ahead of the New York Yankees. And let's check, because I just want to make sure that I got this right. Last time I checked, Tampa Bay was losing to the Phillies. And the Baltimore Orioles, because the Phillies beat the Rays, now move back within 5 of Tampa Bay. Hey, that's huge, man. As bad as Baltimore's been playing, it is amazing to me that they're still 5 games within Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay has kind of had their struggles a little bit as well. So the Baltimore Orioles move back within 5 of the Tampa Bay Rays. Now they're 3 games ahead of the New York Yankees going into Game 4 tomorrow in Yankee Stadium, and they actually have an opportunity to get out of this thing 2-2. So right now, New York, they have the head-to-head advantage at 4-5, because it was 3-3 coming into this series. Baltimore wins Game 3. They will have an opportunity tomorrow at 7:05 to even this series up, which would be monumental. Monumental. So, what do we got? Tomorrow, 7:05, Kyle Bradish is going to be our man on the hill against Luis Severino. And just like I said, if you didn't get to catch it, go and check out my Orioles and Yankees preview. I was singing the praises of Kyle Bradish, and this is a great spot for him to be in, especially how he's been pitching lately. I can't think of a starter that I'd rather have on the hill. Maybe Tyler Wells, but Kyle Bradish is going to be a close second, and I'm glad that he's going to be on the hump tomorrow. So, once again, 7:05, Baltimore Orioles go to try to even up this series against the New York Yankees. Kyle Bradish on the hill. But hey, celebrate, Birdland. 50 wins before the All-Star break. That is stinking huge, guys. It's absolutely monumental. And just like I said yesterday when I put out the video for Game 2, how it seemed like Big Brother was doing the bullying. You know what the Baltimore Orioles did? Even after getting punched in the mouth early in this game, they stinking bowed up their chest and they punched back. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow in Game 4. But I'm feeling real good with Kyle Bradish on the hill. Hey, 50 wins, guys. Can't say that enough. Hey, great night, great day to be a Baltimore Oriole. We'll try to get it back to 500 with these guys tomorrow at 7:05. Go stinking Birds.